Jerry, my dad, was getting older. He was probably 71, 72, 73. I don't know, somewhere in that, maybe 74. I don't know, he's somewhere in that time frame. And he was getting real senile and I'm trying to think, what do they call that? Dementia. Anyway, he was having a hard time, and he's Dad's always been difficult to deal with all of his life, and he was difficult when he got older and more, less functioning. He really needed to be in an assisted living home, but he didn't want to go there. So we'd make him 3 sandwiches a day, and he might eat one. He'd forget to eat. All kinds of stuff. But anyway, he got so it was really bad, and we tried to help him, tried to get him to. He would just never cooperate with us. He wouldn't go to the rest home. He wouldn't go to the assisted living, and then he wouldn't cooperate at the home. We tried to clean his house, take care of him, help him. I had to shower him. When I showered him, he was all filthy from fecal matter. I had to put him in the tub, the shower, and I had to scrub him with a scrubbing brush. Actually, did it with my hand at first in a washcloth, but then I finally got a big long brush and I scrubbed him with a brush and soap and helped clean him up and tried to cook him dinners and help make things, because he was kind of there and he kind of wasn't there, but he was really being difficult to work with. But more than anything, he was going downhill. So as I was bathing him one day, washing him and scrubbing him in the shower, and he was, he's just getting old and frail, and I had to, this guy was a strong, tough son of a gun growing up, hard working, tough son of a gun. But anyway, he would, I was washing him and taking care of his body, and I remember wiping his body down, and after he got it clean, and I was down by his feet, and I had this impression: enjoy this time because it's going to be short. And as I was wiping off his feet, and I thought of Christ washing his apostles' feet and his friends' feet. And I remember wiping off his feet and his body and taking care of it and getting him dressed. And I can even smell and remember that time right now, fresh and clear. But I remember that feeling and that impression. Enjoy this time because this will be short, and because it's going to change. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of weird, but anyway, I'm going to take care of him. So I don't know if it was a few days later, a week later, whenever it was, but anyway, we didn't hear from Dad for a couple of days. Tried to call him, no answer, nothing going on. We went to his house. It was locked. You couldn't get in his house. We knocked, we couldn't get in. So finally what we did is I had to have the locksmith come from A1 Key, and he came up and he unlocked the front door. I think it was me and Starley, I think. Anyway, we walked in, and Jerry, my dad, had fallen head first backwards, just like I am right here, head first backwards into the closet opening was, there's the opening, and then there's the other doors as you slide them this way. And then right above here was all the clothes hanging down, the clothes and the shoes and stuff like that, the clothes. And then he had fallen backwards into the closet and was laying with his head back up against the back wall of the closet. And he was just, he was all messed up. He couldn't talk. He'd probably been there for 24 to 48 hours. We don't know. But he was all messy and everything. And he just couldn't get out. He couldn't figure out how, he was so screwy, he couldn't figure out how to get out of the closet. He was just laying there. And I'm like, oh, Dad, you all right? And I tried to, I think we called 911. I'm pretty sure we called 911. Yeah, we did. Anyway, so me and Starly got there, and I think we helped him out of the closet. Maybe, I don't know, I can't remember exactly. We put him on the bed. It seems like that's what we would have done, but he was just stuck in the closet. Anyway, it was really sad. And then I did stay there that night, and I never slept hardly at all. I think I stayed there. Maybe one of my kids stayed. I don't remember, but I stayed there to try to watch over him, and he fell out of bed. And the 911, he refused to go to the hospital. Anyway, he fell out of bed. Then the next day, Allison came and says, hey, we need to take Dad to the hospital or to a assisted living or something. I can't remember exactly what happened, but anyway, she ended up saving his life because he was real dehydrated and he was not doing very well. I think he lived another couple years, 2 or 3 years. I'm not sure exactly what it was, but towards the end there, we didn't have, none of the kids had anything to do with Dad because he was so he would not cooperate. He was very uncooperative. And every time we would deal with him, it would be an argument. He would be yelling or mad or something like that. So we just had to send him to an assisted living. And he had one of his friends out of California, Dick Brown, which is a really wonderful man. He helped Dad with a lot of things, but Dad would not. Dad never cooperated when he was younger. And as a regular father, rarely would he cooperate then, let alone when he got dementia and he got sick when he got older and fell. He was very difficult to deal with. But when he fell in that closet, it was a difficult day, and it was a change from living there to not living there. And but anyway, yeah, Dad fell in the closet. If we wouldn't have found him, if we would have just been on vacation and hadn't seen him for 2 or 3 more days, he'd probably been dead. But anyway, he lived even longer than that. So that's it.